Thanks for joining us on this edition of the Primetime News on Equinoxe Television, live from our headquarters in Cameroon's economic capital, Douala. I am Daniel Jonathan, and alone top story leaders of the Anglophone struggle for independence, Sisiku, Ayub Tabe and others have appeared in court in the nation's political capital, Yaoundé, for the first time after 10 months of detention incommunicado. The lawyers of the detainees have been asking for habeas corpus to no avail. Stay with us. Some detainees of the Anglophone crisis, notably leaders of the struggle for the restoration of the independence of the former Southern Cameroon, Sisiku, Ayub Tabe and others arrested in the Federal Republic of Nigeria and brought back into the country, have appeared before judges for the first time after 10 months of incommunicado detention. And they appeared in court in the nation's capital, Yaoundé, today after the lawyers had been demanding for habeas corpus for quite a long time to no avail. And the appearance in court today has been described by the lead counsel of the detainees, Barrister Frujanso, as a great day, considering the fact that there were questions, notably concerning whether they were still alive or not, and of course concerning their fate. They are being accused of various charges linked to the Anglophone crisis. We'll be coming back to this in greater details with an extract of Barrister Frujanso later in this newscast. Now we go over to the northwest regional capital, Bamenda, where a 33-year-old young man is now under police custody, accused of having killed the mother. Manjikan Gabriel reports.
It was a difficult start of the new month for the population of Old Town neighborhood in Bamenda, chief town of the Northwest region, who woke up with the sad news that one of theirs in the neighborhood, Ma Genevieve, is no more after her son, 33-year-old Kwelon Gerard, stabbed her to death.
As narrated by the father at the judicial court, the father said in the evening they came back from the market because all of them are business persons, they do business. While in their house, Gerard asked for food. He said, okay, the mother said there's warm food for them to eat because there was food in their house, it was only to heat the food for them to eat.
The family compound was filled with sympathizers who couldn't believe that such an act could happen in their locality. Ma Genevieve was stabbed to death in the kitchen after Gerard asked for food, but it was supposed to be heated before being served to him. When Gerard returned, it was a different story.
Gerard just came in again and said his own problems are too much. That's why he said that his own problems are too much. Took a knife and stabbed the mother by the chest, just towards the heart. That's how she bleeded to death.
As the inhabitants of the Old Town neighborhood continue to wonder what must have pushed the 33-year-old to commit such a crime, sources say hard drugs might have pushed him to commit the macabre act, though Kwelon Gerard had some abnormalities.
The mother has complained of some abnormalities, that some probably he must have been initiated somewhere, but he took Gerard to a certain church towards my phone when they called Poetry area. So they prayed for Gerard, delivered him. He was carrying on his business normally. So I don't know what suddenly became of him to stab the mother to death. Ma
Genevieve, who hails from Nekaf village in Fungom subdivision, Menchum division of the Northwest region, leaves behind 4 sons and his husband to mourn her.
Barrister Michel Ndoki of the Cameroon Renaissance Movement CRM political party has been dragged to court. She's been accused of illegal public demonstration, rebellion, among other charges. For me, Armstrong Sander has more.
The 2018 presidential election made celebrity barrister Michelle Ndoki will have to show her legal might, defending herself at the court of first instance in Bonanjo Douala on the 6th of November. She and 46 others are accused of organizing and participating in an illegal public demonstration, inciting the public to resist legitimate order, rebellion among others. Reacting to this, Barrister Michelle Ndoki says some are accusations which could correspond, but in this case do not correspond to the text in place.
Des faits qui peuvent correspondre, mais qui ne correspondent pas à nous.
The legal mind, in an interview on Equinoxe Radio, outlined the need for the accusations to match with the text in place. She further sounded curious that they are summoned on the 6th of November, the anniversary of President Paul Biya's ascension to power, and a day when he might possibly be sworn in as president-elect of the Republic of Cameroon. Michelle Ndoki said she is not surprised that such strategies are used by political rivals. The convocation of Barrister Michelle Ndoki and co. follows a protest demonstration staged in the city of Douala over the weekend against what they qualify as electoral hold-up.
I told you earlier that leaders of the Anglophone struggle, or better still, the fight for the restoration of the independence of the former Southern Cameroon's Siseko Ayuk Tabe and others appeared in court in the nation's political capital Yaoundé today for the first time after 10 months of incommunicado detention. Dressed in tracksuits, the 10 leaders led by Siseko Ayuk Tabe, according to reports streaming into our newsroom, seemed relaxed and healthy. The appearance in court lasted 2 hours. Here are details in the extract by the lead counsel of the detainees, Barrister Fu Johnson. We caught up with him on phone from Yaoundé.
Today was a great day because all the detained people were in court. We did everything to make sure that they appear today. It has been a long battle. This is at the High Court. The judge didn't allow us to bring them, but the Court of Appeal, after 4 adjournments, has insisted with a production warrant, and we followed up, make sure it's executed, and they were in court. So we did the matter, the substantive matter, and the matter has been scheduled for ruling on the 15th of November.
Barrister, we saw them coming out happily, and it's like they were feeling fine and pleased, lively. So I don't know what was the situation.
Because they had an opportunity to tell their story. They had never told their story to anybody. They have never appeared in any court since they were arrested in Nigeria on the 5th of January. So this is the first opportunity for them to tell their story to a court.
It means that today is one of the best sessions.
It is the best day of my life as a lawyer. It's the best day for them as accused persons to be heard before the Court of Appeal of the Central Province.
So what did they tell nous on a aperçu les prévenus, visiblement ils sont en bonne santé, c'est ça?
Moi je ne suis pas médecin, mais je peux vous dire que apparemment ils sont en forme, mais tu ne peux pas savoir. Sauf que tu es médecin, moi je ne peux pas déclarer ce que je ne connais pas.
Barrister Fu Johnson, lead counsel of the Anglophone detainees Siseko Ayuk Tabe and others, speaking there, responding to questions from journalists shortly after the over 2-hour court session, which led to the adjournment of the case to November 15. The case was adjourned, of course, to November 15. Now on to something else. Members of the Security Commission of the Confederation of African Football in the city of Douala, they went through some of the stadia in the country's economic capital, Douala, to inspect the security infrastructures and the security measures that have been put in place ahead of the 2019 Africa Cup of Nations. Jibrila Ima Amidu, president of the CAF Security Commission and his colleagues, 3 of them, went through the different stadia in the city of Douala, from the Japoma Sports Complex and of course the Japoma 50,000 capacity stadium. They equally went to the Omisport Stadium under rehabilitation, and they were equally at the Bonamusadi Stadium, which will serve for training sessions during the 2019 Africa Cup of Nations. And of course they were inspecting the security measures that have been put in place this far ahead of the 2019 Africa Cup of Nations. And the CAF inspection team will be visiting Cameroon from November 3rd, 2018, as the country prepares to welcome players, team officials, fans, and even tourists in the country to receive during the 2019 Africa Cup of Nations. Yesterday, the Security Commission of the Confederation of African Football was equally in the Southwest Regional Chief Town, Boya, for the same purpose. Derek Jatov has in details from Boya.
Hours to the arrival of the FIFA CAF Joint Security Team here at the Boya Moliko Stadium, the esplanade of the stadium is being policed to make sure no civilian car is on this lot today. The FIFA CAF mission had already been made public to inspect infrastructure to host the 2019 African Cup of Nations on this soil and check how security ready are the 4 walls of Cameroon to secure the lives of tens of thousands of sport lovers that will make Cameroon their destination come 2019. Even those who are not experts say the Southwest region, which is to host one of the poles in terms of infrastructure from their own observations, is ready.
We are very ready. We are very, very ready. We are ready. We like football. I'm very prepared. I myself am a footballer.
But these same people will decline talking on the security readiness of the region for their own security. But whatsoever be the case, the FIFA CAF inspection team must have noted the military readiness of the Southwest region, especially FACO Division, the host division, with war machines and armored cars on the street of Boya, for instance, ready for any combat. A story of a man allegedly being shot in the leg by military forces at Wonya Mavio, a village in Boya subdivision, is reported even before the FIFA CAF team arrived at Moliko Stadium for inspection. Witnesses say.
This edition of the news. Thanks, ladies and gentlemen, for staying with us. Goodbye.